All right, hello everyone. My name is Callie, and today we are doing a flower painting with a water bottle. So I don't know if you have seen our flyer for this yet today, but you will need paper. Today I'm going to show you two different ways to do this painting. So I'm going to use light blue and I'm going to use white. You can use any color of your choice. You're going to also need paintbrushes, paper plates, an empty water bottle or soda bottle or pop bottle, and any paints of your choice. If you want to focus on the colors I'm going to use, I'm going to be using brown for stems, green for stems, and then I'm just going to play around with colors for the flowers. Alright, so we'll get started. We'll open these up. So the first way that I'm going to show you how we're going to do this is we're going to put the flowers onto trees. So we will use our white background for this, and I'll kind of give you a side-by-side, step-by-step on how to achieve this. So if we can tilt this down as far as I can get it, and you can follow along. I'll try to do it as best as you can see me, and then I can hold up to show you. So the first color we are going to use is brown for the stem of the tree. So I actually have multiple plates with me. So we're going to use one for just the little small dots, and then I will show you how much we need for the flowers. So as I said, we're going to use brown for the stem. So I'll just squeeze some of this onto our plate. Ooh, needs to be shaken a little bit. If this doesn't work, we can use a different color as well. Oh, there we go. Alright, so just a little bit of brown on the plate. And we're going to use our paintbrush. I'm using a small one. If you want your branches to be thicker, you can always use a thicker brush. Or if you want them to be thinner, you can use a thin brush. So I'm going to scoot this back so you hopefully can see a little bit better. There, you can see that. And we're going to focus on the stem. One thing I'm going to do so I don't get anything on my table is I'm just going to put another sheet of white paper underneath in case anything happens. So we'll start from the bottom up. I'll try my best to show you how I do this as I go. So we're just going to kind of make a squiggly line all the way up. It can be however you want it to, because trees are all different, so you can make this however you want. So take a little bit of brown paint, place at the bottom. It can be in any order. I'm going to start on the right side, and we're just going to go like that. So now, kind of have a little bit of a tree going, and then we're going to follow my line back through, and just kind of fill that in. Alright, so as you can see, now I have the base of what my tree is going to be. I'm going to go back through, and I'm just going to go over it one more time. Then the next part that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add branches to the stem of your tree. I'm going to thicken this down at the bottom a little bit, and now we're going to add branches. So this, you can just kind of make lines all the way out, wherever you want. I'm going to do one here, just like that. I will do one over here. Again, these can be however you want. And you can even make them go off each other. So instead of just going off the tree, you see I can do one there. And then I can do one off of that. I'm just going to keep going back over it. We'll add one more on the bottom. Alright, so now you have your tree all done like this. Yours may not look just like mine, but that's okay. Alright, And then the second thing you're gonna do is we're gonna add the flowers. So I will show you how to do that. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna pick out your colors. For my flowers today, I'm gonna use purple, and we'll just use purple on this tree, actually. So what you wanna do is you wanna take your color, put it on a different paper plate because I don't want it to mix with the brown. And you're gonna wanna do a decent amount of purple because you have to dip your water bottle in this. So a good amount. Squeeze a little bit more. And then I actually want to make mine a little bit of a lighter purple. So we will squeeze some white into that, because to make your colors lighter, you add white, and to make them darker, you can add black. I'm gonna take a separate brush again. Then I'm just gonna mix this together to change the color. So if you can see what I'm doing, I didn't add too much white, so it's not gonna change it a lot, but it will change it enough to make it a little bit lighter. This will also help spread everything out, as you want a big enough space of paint where your water bottle is gonna go. So as you can see, it changed it from dark purple to light purple by adding that little bit of white. Now you can get rid of that brush, and the next step you're gonna do is you're gonna take your water bottle, mine is empty, I'm gonna use a soda bottle, and you're gonna dip the end, the bottom of your bottle into your paint. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little edges on here. So when you dip that in the paint and then dip it on your paper, it will make a flower. So as you can see, just dip it around just enough to where you can see it will make a flower. And then you'll take your tree and you'll find a place for your first flower. So I'm gonna do the first one up here. So this didn't show the middle, but that's actually kind of nice because then we can go back in and we can fill in the middle with any color we want. So we're going to continue to do this all the way throughout our paper. The sunflowers may end up different than others, just with how much paint we are putting on them. There's another one. Really make sure you're getting enough paint. Between each flower, I would go back and touch it up. We'll do another one down here. Just like that. And then we'll do one more at the top. So we will do one right up here. Push it down all the way. There you go. I'm now gonna just kind of wipe this off. You don't want paint going everywhere. And then I'm gonna set it upside down while I do the rest of this, just so I don't get paint everywhere. The next option to do this is to add the center of your flower. So it can be any color you want. Today I'm going to do yellow. All right. Oof, this yellow isn't open yet. I'll just unscrew it. Again, we won't be using a lot of yellow, so we'll just put a little bit on our plate. Now you're gonna go back in with your paintbrush, and you're just gonna add little dots right in the middle of your flower. All right. So I'm using a little tiny brush. Depending on how big your bottle is, you could always use a bigger brush. So I'm just gonna go back in and I'm gonna paint a little circle right in the middle. Just like that. Again, I'll be going in right in the middle. Just a little tiny dot. Another option to do this, if you want to get a perfect circle, if you have Q-tips at home, you could take the end of your Q-tip, dip it right in, go right back onto your paper for the middle of the flower. All right, and we have one more left. One little circle in the middle, and that is all done. Again, I will put this paintbrush to the side. Another option with this that I didn't mention before is you could always, if there's a lot of paint, you could always bring in your flowers a little bit. Just kind of guide them in. Another option would be if you want to bring the flower all the way into the center, you could do that as well. So you're just taking that excess paint that was there and you're bringing it all the way in. Kind of makes a teardrop shape. But that way you can make all these flowers unique. So as you can see, I brought in this one. For this, I just made them a little bit bigger. Otherwise, you could always just leave them like that. A third option to add a little uniqueness to this is you could thicken up the center circle. So we'll just make it a lot bigger than the other ones. That way each and every one of your flowers can have some uniqueness. So as you can see, I made it bigger there. And that is our first option. Our second option for the flower painting is to do it on a stem, on a flower stem. So I'm gonna actually take blue this time instead of white, and we are gonna focus on using the blue as like a sky background, and then we'll put some green stems in, and you can go in with each individual flower. All right, so we will get some green going. Again, if you don't have enough brushes, you can always wash them in between. For now, I'm just going to be using some separate ones. So I'm going to add a little bit of green to our plate. Just a little. I am again going to take just that white piece of paper and place it underneath in case I make any mistakes on the stems. That way I don't ruin my table. All right, so now we will take another paintbrush. We'll go in with some green and we'll make, we'll probably do 4 or 5 stems for each flower. So again, grab some green paint. You're just gonna wanna do squiggles. You could do a straight line, you could do a zigzag line. I'll show you all the different options you could do. That way you can make your flowers unique. So start at the bottom. I'll just do a little swiggled line, just like that. That's for our first flower. Second one, we could do a straight line. You can also make these different heights because they don't all have to be the same. Straight line. We can do a zigzag flower. So you want to go back and forth, back and forth. I'll show you that again. Just like writing the letter Z. Back and forth, back and forth, and back. Just like that. Another thing you could do is a bunch of little squiggly lines. So instead of just doing one big swoop like that, you could go just like that, almost like a snake. Similar to drawing an S or writing an S, we just go back and forth in that motion. And then for my last one, I'll just do a shorter straight line. All right, so as you can see, we have 5 different flowers that we're going to be making. What you can also do in this part is you could add some leaves if you want. Here again, you want to make kind of that teardrop shape. Another thing that I like to do is you can make a heart shape. I will show you that on this second flower right here. You just want to do a heart, just like that, and it makes some leaves. Your next option is you just want to do one leaf. You can kind of do half a heart or half a teardrop shape. That's where you just want to take your pen or your paintbrush and you just want to do kind of half of a C mark. So kind of a C, half of a circle, and just like that. I'll show you that one more time on this side. You just want to do a C shape, just like that, and then it makes your flowers, your stem of your flowers. All right, so lastly, this is where we're going to add in the flowers again. I will do purple right away, as there's already some purple left on here. Again, just take that purple, make sure you get enough paint on it, rub it around a little bit, but not too much. And then you want to dab right on the top of your stem. Right at the top. Push it down a little bit, make sure it's on there good. And there you go, there's the flower. Again, I'm gonna do one more purple, push it down. And we will do it on this little end guy over here. Right at the top of your stem, make sure they're connecting, just like that. The next thing I'm gonna do is we're going to mix in a color. So I'm gonna mix in red into our purple just a little bit, enough to make a swirl. That way when I dip the end of our bottle, it will kind of make that tie-dye swirl look. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna add some paint throughout, just like this. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and we're not mixing all the way, so you don't have to worry about that. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our paintbrush, and we're just gonna, I'm gonna actually use the end of it, just so it has a little bit cleaner look, and you're just gonna wanna back and forth, kind of in that S shape, kind of in that figure 8 shape again. Back and forth, just squiggling. And then it gives it this nice tie-dye look. So it's not all mixed together, as you can see. We just have a little bit of a tie-dye look. You're gonna go back in with your bottle. If you don't want the purple on there, you can always take a different bottle, or you can clean yours off before. Because we already used purple, and purple's gonna be in this one, I'm just gonna go in and go right into this. So you're gonna wanna put some pressure on there again. And as you can see, when you pick it up, it makes that tie-dye effect. I'm gonna go in on our zigzag stem, and I'm gonna press this right at the top. Put some pressure, remember that. It makes it just like that, so it gives you that cool tie-dye look. We can do one more. I'll add in, how about we just add in another color to our mix? So we can add this gray, it's kind of silver. Again, you can do any colors you want at home. I'm just gonna be using these. All right, we're gonna do the same thing again. And I'm just gonna, here and there, just kind of put some silver in. And then we will take the end of the same brush we were using. You could also use a pencil. You could also use a pen. And you're just gonna make that swirly tie-dye look all the way throughout. That way when we dip our bottle in, just like this. Don't move around too much, but enough pressure so that it sticks to the bottle. And then you can see, gives us that tie-dye look. And then we will press down on our first little stem over here. Push, 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 push. Lift straight up. And there you go. We'll do one more in that color. All right, as you can see, the bottom of our bottle has that tie-dye look again. And we're gonna press down on our last stem. All right, I will set the bottle to the side as we are done with that. And now this is your look. So lastly, as we did before, you can always go back in and you can fix the shapes of your flowers. For this one, I'm just gonna bring it in to the middle, have all of them touching. And go back in and make them look however you want. Otherwise, you can leave them the same. So for that, ends up looking like that. For this guy over here, we can always just make them a little bigger like we did last time, just going around the edges. And then the last part is putting in the center of your flower. Just like last time, to make it easy, since I don't want to waste this paint, I will just go back in with my yellow, get a little dot. Again, if you have Q-tips at home, it'd be really easy to just stamp the Q-tip to make that perfect circle. As you can see, I'm just going to go in with a little dot there. Again, you can make these different sizes, so I'll do a little bit of a bigger circle and then I'll fill it in just like that. I'll go in with a little dot again, just a little bigger than the first one. We'll just do a tiny dot on that one. And our last one, we already had filled into the center. I'm going to color that in a little bit with our yellow. That way it has a center color, just like that. So those are your two options for the flower bottle painting. Super fun. So here's your first one again. As you can see, you can make them into flowers, or you can look at our first one. You can put them on a tree stem. But that is all that I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you follow along with me, I would love to see your paintings, so make sure you take pictures of those and drop them in the comments because I would love to see that. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on Wednesday with another art activity. Bye!